I'm delighted to be able to present to this group about what's going on at the University of Chicago around data science, and we'll get right into it. So, the Data Science Institute was really launched as a university-wide conversation, initiative, and eventual presidential lead to re-envision data-driven inquiry research at large across all disciplines and all divisions. In short, what was attractive about joining the University of Chicago was, in fact, that it was not, at the front of the market of launching academic data science. It's that it's had the luxury or pleasure to see data science in action for the past 10 years or so, acknowledge the opportunities, and really notice the fact that there's some serious cracks in the foundation as a field. And that right there, as a one-pointed statement, is some of the stuff that U Chicago likes to look at closest, is foundational questions. And so we're working on a field building exercise here at the Data Science Institute, the U Chicago School of Data Science being at the forefront of what we need to develop. And the way we do it through the Institute is these three main pillars of research, education, outreach. What you don't see up here, and I think maybe we've seen this puzzle piece maybe one other time from Mike Franklin and Dan Nicolai, which is we don't see the intersection of three Venn diagram that's traditional. It's a much more integrated, holistic approach to data science is the way the Provost Committee at the University of Chicago has really envisioned this. And it's a refreshing new take on the way to think about building this. So I'm going to get right into the three pillars. And instead of giving a very high overview, I'm actually just going to give you very specific examples of the kinds of work we're doing and stood up in the past 18 months or a bit longer. Research is the primary activity at the Data Science Institute. It is very specifically the field building exercise we think of, and that's thinking and capturing very ambitious, very hard problems that require multidisciplinary PI and faculty to get together and attack them specifically in a way that no one field would particularly be successful in solving them, as is currently viewed by my colleagues. And so to give you a sense of taste of what these multi-year deep research investments look like, the first three of them are listed here, and they're all starting at different stages. The most mature is a research initiative on the left called the Internet Equity and Access Research Initiative, priorly known as sort of Bridging the Digital Divide. This is frankly to look at the really hard data science problem of measuring, observing accurately, and then developing in concert with public officials policy that can genuinely affect this societal level problem of access to data. So at its core, it's an access to data research problem. It's inequitably addressed now, but it's really unknown how bad the problem is. And the approach taken under this research initiative is really a partnership between computer science, data science, Harris School of Public Policy, Crown Family School, and all of the minds that really can attack this problem holistically. What's exciting about a project like this, and is really representative of the types of work we're doing, is it must move to impact. And impact is not just a great paper in a top journal or conference, but for example, those colleges, city colleges, universities, nonprofits listed below that stand to directly benefit from the research, and it's done in real time. And so the research questions are actually, the weekly calls actually include City of Chicago officials in the research group. And that's kind of an exciting take on the way we think about research initiatives. The middle one is sort of a newer initiative started right now. It's actually in partnership with Will Howell and the Center for Effective Government. And I think the topic is quite clear on what they're looking at, but it's really difficult. And the individual tools of each field are not exactly scratching on their own, the right insight into the problem. And so we're really excited already at the preliminary work being looked at under the Data and Democracy Research Initiative. But again, really hard societal level impact problems of data and looking really hard at it. And maybe as a surprise for this group, although I think it gets said a little too often, is our third one actually includes the word artificial intelligence, even though they are part of those prior two. And this one really sort of leverages the unique position that University of Chicago has, not just with the storied history of science, but our partnership and stewardship of Fermi National Lab and Argonne National Lab. And this is a way to really, to paraphrase the quote, scientists will not be replaced by AI, but scientists that are leveraging the power of data science and AI will replace the scientists that do not. This is a paraphrase quote from a person I'm forgetting right now, but in particular, the idea here is, what is the long-term use of AI in the scientific method? And we have a lot of really exciting starting problems there. And I think we're starting to see some core principles in that observation. This is a preview. We plan to stand up many of these research initiatives. They are driven by the faculty, they're driven by new hires in data science, but also existing faculty. And it's part of the unique research culture that I've grown to really enjoy at the University of Chicago. Our education approach is something that I'm very proud of, and I think uniquely represents the type of perspective we're going to have in our education. And that, frankly, is to say, you can't really graduate as a data scientist unless you work on real data science problems. And so I know that we've just priorly heard and know it's a value for this community to think about experiential learning. It's something I've been working on for 8 years. And we have integrated the idea, I used to call it practicum, some people call it capstone. I think the most accurate description really is a data science clinic, into the degree programs that we are running, both undergraduate and graduate programs. This is, again, in the spirit of thinking about real world problems. You're going to attack really hard problems at national labs that we source from. We work very seriously on social impact, nonprofit, and public sector problems. And ultimately, I think we gain a lot of value in partnering with industry projects. They're also very popular with students. And for example, we had a pilot of about 40 students last year take clinic. We now have about 45 or 50 students just in the winter clinic. And the demand and growth for this particular course is enormous. And we are having students that are not just data science students involved in these projects, as they can really benefit from some domain knowledge as well. But I won't dwell on the clinic because I think I've spoken prior about it, but it's really just an incredible way to actually understand how to take a student through a data science life cycle. One of the things we've also noticed in all our work with the community is, it's data science is an opportunity to re-envision our relationship with the South Side of Chicago and other areas that are underserved by data. When you reach out and work with community members, they are not platter serving amazing, mature data science problems. So we have to meet all of our organizations where they are and find different places on the maturity ladder to think about data science and the work we can do. And this is just a comment on the slide that we are looking at many different methods of engaging with organizations outside the university at the level of data science that they're at, and take them along the maturity ladder that best helps and reinforces the mission of these organizations. We're working, it's top of mind, be working with these Neighborhood Network Alliance, South Shore Works, the Lost Boys. These are really incredible organizations that have really messy and hard data problems that are just, at the right intersection of mission and interest and research level. One of the things I'm also really new and proud about talking about when we think about journeying both from education into outreach is, what does outreach really look like? And outreach means not just partnerships with nonprofits, but our other universities in our neighborhood. This one in particular, I'm very excited about. This is an engagement with a stood up MOU in the past year that I worked on with the City Colleges of Chicago, where it was understood that one of the greatest demands for students in that area is access to data science education, or data analytics, or data engineering, and the gap in resources to be able to serve those students. So we formed a partnership between our two institutions that are focused on capacity building for our city colleges, pathways, and in particular, one of our flagship early programs is a joint preceptorship between the University of Chicago and community colleges. Traditionally, private universities like the University of Chicago don't necessarily have a long storied history with community colleges. In this case, they actually did, but many currently do not, including ours. And then thinking about what are these mutually beneficial institution building, infrastructure building, and mutually, as I said before, mutually beneficial opportunities, a teaching postdoc to develop the next generation of data science educators that very much understand how to develop diverse learners and students, a privilege at the University of Chicago. We're really excited about that particular program launching in the fall. This is our latest activity, which has just stood up under the funding of a funding partner here listed on the screen. I think a news announcement will be in short order from data.org. to be the center of a HBCU network working on how to actually disseminate at scale and develop sustainable methods of experiential learning at the intersection of data science and social impact. So building upon the knowledge of clinic building, but really focused on social impact, and finding partners on this committee that will actually develop these different modules in a way that are scalable to institutions that are not like University of Chicago. Really excited about the PIs that have been identified at each of these institutions. And I think we're kicking off shortly this work. I think this is my last slide, and I know I'm already over, so I'll just pause to say that we have a very ambitious hiring plan. It sounds very similar to what I just heard from you, so good luck. Where it is a lot of work to hire faculty in this space. It is sort of for many years out, we'll be hiring at this level. We're looking forward to catching up a little bit and developing a PhD certificates, and all the other fun stuff that we might be doing here. So happy to move to questions.